Hi, this is David with Juiced Rite. Wanted to run a little video showing you how to just a basic setup on the Model 75. It'll be the same for the Model 100. We're starting in kind of the condition it'll be in the morning when you show up, right? So everything's cleaned up, it's all ready to go, it's all dried up. First thing we want to do is put our blade holder on. So we have the blade holder, 3 or 4 stainless, weighted, balanced, all of it. Almost has like a little teddy bear head. So you'll see how that lines up with the flat on the hub here. So just like that, just in position. We have a 1/4 20 screw and a lock washer. Make sure you use the lock washer because we want it to stay in place, but we don't want to over tighten it when it's in place. Hex screw or a hex wrench, and tighten that up. Get it started with your fingers, make sure it's going in good, and then I like to give it a little spin until it comes tight. Like I said, just snug. Don't have to over tighten it, don't have to wrench it, don't anything. We don't want to break that off inside of there. Excellent. Next thing's next. We install a shredder blade. That lines up with the pin here in the center on the hole. Walk up there and see it. You can see there are like key slots. So you want to drop the large part of the key slots over the pins on the outside of the blade holder. Then rotate counterclockwise to lock it in. So it's like that. So now it's in snug. All right. Next thing, the tube. We have 2 pins on either side. They drop up into the slots right here. You can see that. So by the handle here, drop it into the slot, slide it backwards. The bail of the latch comes over the hook there, and then engage it like that. Give it a little bump, make sure it all stays intact. Good, good, good. Next thing, we have our press boards. You can see they're virtually identical with one exception. The ears, one's low, one's high. So the one with the high ears, that goes on your moving press platen. The one with the low ears goes on the fixed press platen, just like so. All right, next thing, your juice collection pan. You want and a dust bag. Just like that. All right, now we're at the position where we need to get power onto the machine. Over here on this side, you'll see a yellow and red rotary switch. When the switch is in the horizontal position, it's off. When it's in the vertical position, it's on, and it's labeled as such. So we'll put it in the on position. We want to look at both of our emergency e-stops, one on both sides of the machine. If the red light is on, that means it's actually in a disengaged position, and the machine will not run. How to clear that? We just turn counterclockwise and let it go. You should, on the underside of it, you should see a little yellow stripe. It's not available when the button's pushed. When you twist it, you can actually see it. So that sound is the machine actually timing out to back up the press itself. All right, next thing we'd want to do is actually shred our material. Usually start out in the 0 position and then your green button on. Of course, you've already had you got your produce already. It's washed. It's good to go. So to shred, we just hit the start button. That turns the shredder on, and we turn it up. I'm going to turn it down a little bit so you can hear me, but that's at 100%. Everything should be pretty vibration free. One thing that's kind of I wanted to go over real quick is when you add your produce to the chute when you're shredding to get it into the bag. For hard produce, mixed produce, you can go about 3/4 full-ish. You'll never get there if you have a sharp blade because it'll be shredding while you're adding it. This bag is full at about 14 pounds, 12 to 14 pounds of produce. And so with leafy greens, we'll go about half full. And so when you go to tamp the produce down, so you'll put your plunger in, just let it come down until it rests upon the produce. You don't have to plunge and hit it even very hard. Kind of just let it, the weight of it, just kind of push the produce into the blade, and eventually all the produce will be gone, then you can load it. But that's faster actually than jamming it in there, because as soon as you jam it really hard, it compacts everything in the lower portion of the tube, and it actually goes even slower. So real light touch when you're putting it down there with a sharp blade, you'll be shredding fast as fast can be. All right. So our bag is now full. You can actually turn it down to 0, already did. Shredder off, and we'll green button to start the hydraulic system. It says close, open. After you hit it to close. We have on our machines now a what we call a pulse cycle, which will actually come close. Total travel time is, I'll come up here, total travel time is about 30 seconds, and then it's going to back up and for about just a brief, like half a second, hold for 10 seconds, and then back to close. It'll do that cycle four times and just get all of the juice out of the produce. And while that's happening, you can be doing other things, cleaning your products, getting the next batch ready to shred, prepping your bottles, whatever. You've got approximately 2.5 minutes if you use the whole cycle to, see there it's backing up its first time. And then it's going to go back on to close here in just a second. There you go. And so like I said, it runs that cycle about 4 times, not about 4 times, it runs that cycle 4 times, and then stays closed. Now it's not going to open until you ask it to open by using the switch. And so by the time if you let it go all 4 cycles, there's virtually no juice left to get out of your produce. But like I said, it's giving you that whole time to do whatever you want to do around the shop or whatever. So I'm going to let it finish its last cycle. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. So here's what's happening right here. If I have the shredder turned on and the hydraulic system closed and oh no, I need to stop it, the emergency stop. Automatically, first thing it does, shut off the shredders. Backs up the press just a few seconds. Doesn't go, we used to have it to where it backed it all the way to the park position. Now it only opens up for just a couple seconds and the whole machine powers down. So that's a built-in safety feature of the whole thing. After you're done with that press cycle, you of course pull your bag out, grab it by the corners over a garbage can or whatever, shake, 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 the pumps will fall out, throw it back in here, you're ready to go for your next shred cycle, next press cycle. Okay, let's say we're done for the day. We take our bag, it's empty, we'll put it somewhere to clean it for later. Taking the machine apart, it's the same thing. Probably recommendation is to go ahead and power everything down, switch off, unclick. Oh, that was a feature I didn't tell you about. In between batches, if you want to finish your shred and you're on your last batch of that flavor, you actually rotate it forward here. You can actually squeegee out the back behind the blade and actually jump it right into the bag without even removing the chute all the way. So it's perfectly fine parked in that position. All right, back to where we were. To get the, we take this off, ready to clean. To get the blade off the blade holder, a little counterclockwise flip swing, it'll actually loosen it up so that you can get it off really successfully. Same 3/16 wrench. A little cheap like that. That's on. Bring this out. Bringing that out. Of course, we'll remove your juice from the place, from wherever. Move it. Now, the whole machine, you can hose down. Put a hose right on and actually rinse the whole thing. If you have a floor drain, lucky you. and you clean the whole entire thing. This, the back shield over the cylinders, you need to get in there to clean this area right here. Real easy to clean, just goes on with notches. Just like that. Clean it up, get it ready for the next day, and that's it. You've done it. All right. Thank you for watching.